Hello everybody, and welcome to Northernlion Plays The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. We've got quite an impressive streak. I've heard I don't lose on quarantine. I don't know why I'm talking in that voice. It's just it kind of stuck after the first word, and I decided that's who I am now. Why mix before HG? Why mix before... I don't know what I can think of for HG. HG Wells? I'll tell you. There's things to like and things not to like. I actually like a lot about what I'm going to just call Holy Brimstone. I don't like its relatively poor damage potential, or at least base damage, not potential, I suppose. I like the fact that it pierces, though. I do. I think it's really... Oh, God. Bozo did the dub. It's really making up for the fact that we've got a relatively low rate of fire right now. I think there's stuff to like about that. I also like the Crooked Penny. I think that that's a real interesting spacebar item. And if a couple of dice rolls go well, all of a sudden we're off to the races. Help. Yo, they saved me. They protected me. I can't believe I've never seen that before. I mean, obviously they weren't trying to, I'm just saying. Alright, here we're not taking a risk. Here's what you do. You walk out here, and you look at this, and you kick the bomb. CEO of kicking bombs. You say that's not even worth trying to double. Then you look at this, you blow it up, and you go, not even worth trying to double. What it might be interesting to try to double is whatever the heck is going on in here. I was incorrect. That's alright, we can still double. Help me. We can still double whatever our, oh, that's so good. We're not gonna double our boss item. I'll tell you what we're gonna double. We're gonna walk into this shop, and for the price of a single key, a 50% chance to walk out of one of everything, or walk out with one of everything. A broken watch, a sharp plug. We could have gone a little deeper, but I wasn't confident. I'm happy with what we got out of that, honestly. Got to be a little careful with sharp watch, but I almost wonder if there isn't a, sorry, sharp plug. I almost wonder if there isn't a weird little, like if you drew up the mathematical expression and looked at it, if there isn't a way that we could see a situation where it's worth losing a little bit of HP via sharp plug in order to try to create the doubling of the century, you know what I mean? The roundabout way to describe that. It is like my, I don't know, 10th hour recording videos here. I think we just grab this, and I wouldn't say I regret it, but I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan of it. I don't want to, you know, possibly double or erase Magic Mushroom, you know? The doubling is not worth much. The erasure is huge there. Yeah, this is the last video of the day in all likelihood. Not that it matters necessarily, but it's been very productive, you know. I've had a lot of, I don't know, the big burst of energy recently. Why not? Yeah, look, what Daddy don't know won't hurt him. We got to use the item from time to time. We should honestly probably just use it on the shop. That's probably the game theory option, especially if we weren't going to buy anything anyway. But where's the fun in that? I also like, you know, today's Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. Monday is like, I really feel like Monday gets a bad rap, you know? Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays. Garfield hates Mondays. Kathy hates Mondays. If you don't know Kathy, Kathy is a newspaper comic character. It is a middle-aged woman who says ack and hates Mondays. That's her personality. Look, I'm not hating. Genuinely not being a hater. Newspaper comics, you get like 4 panels a couple times a week. What are you gonna do? You gotta use broad characterizations. You know what I mean? You can't really be like, oh, she's always wanted to open a French patisserie. You know, it's more like, she doesn't like the color orange, and you're like, you know. She opens her lunch bag and she's like, ack! And then she calls her husband and is like, you didn't give me an apple, you gave me an orange. And then end scene. You know what I mean? What am I talking about? Regardless. I think Mondays get a bad rap. I feel like I'm very productive on Mondays. And also, my whole group of colleagues is essentially very productive on Mondays as well. I do appreciate this. Not being able to double this doesn't sting so bad when you realize that these are all pretty much terrible. In all likelihood. Yep. I hate being right. Let's move along then. We only got one bomb here. Like 10 a.m. Pacific time, I went to Twitch. I was drinking my coffee. Like to do a little market research in the morning. Drinking my coffee, watching some Twitch. Dan's live, playing Escape from Tarkov. Malph's live, playing Hitman 2. Justin's live, playing Animal Crossing New Leaf. Sorry, not New Leaf, New Horizons. It's my first Animal Crossing, cut me some slack. And then, like, I only follow, and this is publicly available information, I follow like less than 40 channels on Twitch, I'm pretty sure. At least 8 of them were live Monday at 10 a.m., which is pretty amazing when you think about it, right? Like, that's Monday at 10 a.m. for a few hours is not 1/5 of the week. 1/5 of the week is like 1.4 days. Anyway, that's not really... You're like, what does that have to do with the conversation? I'm like, I tried to divide the week into 20% so that I could, you know, 1 in 5 of my Twitch followed channels was on. It doesn't really make any sense, okay? Suffice it to say, Sunday at noon, nobody I follow is live. On average, at least. Sundays are for relaxing. Mondays, people are like, let's get that bread. You know what? I got an idea here. Yeah. You know what? That actually is still fine, because it tells me now there's no reason for us to use a bomb, our only bomb, to try to get that chest in there, or the pill for that matter. And wait a minute, did the key come popping out of there? It did. Let's go. Yeah, I like a Monday, to be honest. I understand, by the way. Sometimes, and I always talk about this in as frank terms as possible. I understand I have a job that is cushy. I've never forgotten that. You shouldn't be mad at me. You should be mad at the YouTubers who complain constantly about how hard the job is. They've lost sight. They've lost sight of what it meant to be in the working world. Me, on the other hand, I've always remembered, anytime I'm like, YouTube's been acting up today, I'm like, well, would you rather be teaching 7-year-old Korean kids to speak English using a CD player and singing songs with them? And I'm like, you know what, me? Good point. Keep that appreciation and gratitude alive. Not to say teaching ESL is like the worst job. I mean, that's honestly kind of a cushy job to begin with as well. You just get to stay inside, might even have air conditioning. Regardless, what was I talking about? I completely forgot. Oh, days of the week. I understand, but people sometimes think that because I've been a YouTuber for a long time, and I really have been a YouTuber for like a staggering length of time, nobody's more shocked by it than me. When I started it, I was like, you know, I give this a few months max. People are gonna wise up and be like, wait a minute, this guy's not entertaining at all. And that Isaac game's going nowhere. Hold on. I'll try. Does it work? It works. I did buy a key out of it, unfortunately. I honestly think we just try again. You son of a gun! How dare you? That's alright. We'll collect our item. Maybe we can get another charge at some point. But I was alive before I was on YouTube, believe it or not. I know it's hard to believe. I understand the nastiness of a Monday when you're in school and you don't want to go back to school because Saturdays and Sundays are a lot of fun. Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays. Oh, when you got a summer job, Saturdays and Sundays are... Well, it depends on the job, but I had a summer office job when I was in university. Saturdays and Sundays were beautiful. Oh, to have a Saturday at age 19, living in a house with 6 of my best friends again. Then a Monday, you're like, I'm paying for the weekend now. Fair enough. But now I like a Monday. A Monday is like... You got to get some momentum on a Monday. That's what I'm trying to say. Carries you through the rest of the week. You don't. The worst thing you can do is have a Monday that puts you behind because you're spending the rest of the week trying to catch up. It's much easier to have a strong Monday. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking in the abstract now, by the way. But it's much easier to just have a strong Monday, get a little bit ahead on work, and then maybe Thursday rolls around and you're like, I don't want to record any more Isaac today. And you know what? You don't have to because you recorded some on Monday. You smarty pants. Look at you. Now you can do what your brain wants you to do, which is refresh Twitter on your phone 100 times and tell yourself it's leisure time. I'm in this photo, and I don't like it. Now, if you could just perish here, really appreciate that, thank you. This run's in a strange place. It's certainly not bad, but DPS-wise, it's actually bad. We just have, like, we're like a 60 overall in Madden, but we have an A+ potential because of our item. Really, 3 times in a row, huh? There's still a way out of this. You use this, you get a battery charge. There is no battery charge. I care not for an arcade. That saves us a key, at least. It's just, we were gonna use a key anyway. I can't believe we whiffed on that one. It was like a 1 in 8 chance to get 3 not doubles in a row. Mind you, I mean, we're taking that out of context because we have been hitting it more often. We've gotten a couple of doublings. It's not like we've exclusively been skunked. It's just that shop skunked us. So don't let it get you down. Probably shouldn't have done that. I thought we would have been okay. Certainly this benefits 0 from being doubled. Might even benefit more from being erased. I'll level with you. I think this is the most likely run to lose in the last 10. Now, I'm saying that before things really get hot, so, you know, you never know. Our next deal with the devil might be like, oh, here's Brimstone, you know? I don't even know how Brimstone works with Little Brim. Well, it's not really Little Brim, but little miniature Brimstones attached to it. But it's usually pretty good. So that might age poorly, and I might look like a genius instead. I'll be like, you know, the run's so hard. Wow, I can't believe I won. Or you might be like, this guy's prophetic. This run got real hot. We're kind of just facing like a crisis right now. But it's a slow-moving crisis, like the loss of Icelandic glaciers. It's not a fast-moving crisis like, you know, oh god, I'm on fire, or something like that. We can see on the horizon, things are a little spicy. You know, speed is bad. HP looks great, but is mostly not... You know, some of this health is rented. Let's put it that way. We're going to be paying it back to Blockbuster Video pretty soon. Can't even get in there, huh? Can't even open that up. We have poor speed, relatively poor HP, bad DPS, a spacebar item that is dubious but can be amazing. I'm not going to deny that. And really not even crushing it from a consumable standpoint. I do appreciate the key, but... You know, we've been pretty bomb poor for like the entire run so far. It's a train wreck waiting to happen, but the beauty of it is that it may not happen. That's Isaac, you know? It's like a slot machine. You never know. Okay, you're really starting to cheese me off. The shop hidden negatives over and over and over again. You're throwing me for a loop. I do not like it. It's alright. Just practice those dodging skills. That's the meat and potatoes of Isaac. Anybody else? I know I've talked about this before. Sometimes people get on me. Not like in a poking fun way. Not in a way that's actually aggressive. Sometimes people get on me. They'll say, NL, you're recycling anecdotes. Yeah, like of course. Again, do I need to do the thing where even with the webcam off, I point to the window and go, you know, have you looked outside recently? We're in the middle of a virus outbreak. I'm not really generating that many anecdotes right now. Do I want to double this? Let's say no. Let's say yes. You are... George is getting upset. Hold on. We have a stone chest around here. Maybe like right in this room. But, anybody else grow up in a family? Oh my god, it's a single red heart? Are you kidding me? Anyone else grow up in a family that served, and not my parents, more my grandparents, grow up in a family that served white bread with every meal? I'm talking about when I lived with my parents and my grandparents handled cooking, by which I mean my grandma handled cooking because my grandpa probably had never stepped foot in a kitchen in his life except to pilfer a block of cheese at 11:50 p.m. and eat it directly from the block. Next morning be like, why are there teeth marks in this thing? I don't know. I think you do know. Maybe that's just a knife impression. I don't think we have any knives that look exactly like your jaw. Okay, I do appreciate the HP. I do appreciate the stats. There's not much else we can do there, unfortunately, but it's still a little under statted here. There's no doubt about it. But the classic meal my grandma would cook would be like, you know, some ham. You know, like some ham baked in the oven, or at least, you know, warmed up in the oven. And then like some of those little round potatoes from the can, which I've talked about ad nauseum before, and then like some baby corn or some cucumbers or something like that. We didn't eat a lot of leafy green vegetables as a kid, or when I was a kid at least. I don't think I ever saw my grandparents consume a salad, to be honest with you. Now, that being said, they are still alive, and they're like in their mid-80s, so I don't know. It's like, I was gonna say it's nature's cruel joke, but it's not really a cruel joke that my grandparents are alive. What I meant is more like, you know, there's probably people out there eating super healthy, and then the doctor's like, yeah, we can't explain it. I know you eat a lot of green salads with light dressing, but it turns out you've got diabetes, you know? Meanwhile, my grandpa probably drinks like 8 sodas a day, and the doctor's like, we can't explain it, but you're in the best shape of any man we've ever seen in our entire lives. Nature's cruel like that. Although it is my grandpa, so I'm pretty stoked about that. So this is getting mighty dangerous real quick. Help is what I would say about that. I would say help. Oh, you're just gonna telefrag me on top of that. Okay. We need to focus. Anyway, and then on top of that, you know what you need when you're eating a meal of processed meat and canned potatoes and no leafy green vegetables? We'll just put out 2 slices of white bread for everybody. Just in case you're not full of carbohydrates from eating the equivalent of like 2 russet potatoes each. Here you go. Just have a little bread with the meal. I know it doesn't taste good, but just eat it anyway. I'm not, by the way, I know you're like, white bread tastes good. Well, yes, but I'm talking about like white Wonder Bread, sandwich bread sort of stuff, you know? I'm not saying, and it's great for a grilled cheese. By the way, if you telefrag me one more time, I'm gonna be very upset. I might lose it. Good for a grilled cheese, don't get me wrong. At the same time, don't really want to eat 2 slices of it like a la carte. Just, it's not something where you're like, oh, excuse me, garçon. May I have some slices of white bread to accompany this meal? I don't know, maybe you are. Maybe that's what you're into. That's okay. I mean, you're the customer. The customer's always right, right? Narrator voice, he was not right. So all I'm going to say is that I hope you believed me on the previous floor when I said that this run is the most likely to fail for a long time. Or since a long... You gotta be kidding me. I'm just begging. Okay, I can take it. It's pheromones. I'm begging you for a win here. Not a win on the run. I mean, oh my god, I'm dumb. I'm just dumb on that one. I mean like a more spiritual win. That one I should never have been hit by. I kind of ran into those shots. And by kind of, I mean like super ran into the shots. Judgment. We'll talk. Come on. 3 cents? I thought maybe you might hook me up there. I'm begging you, dude. I need the bombs. I honestly do. I'm begging you here. Hook me up. I see a tinted rock. Dare we try to double it? In this current state, I think the answer to that question is absolutely not if it pays out with what we want. Thank you. I'll take my 1 spirit heart and go, please. Mom, can you pick me up? They're watching an R-rated movie. Mom, can you pick me up? My DPS is so bad. I got 4.4 damage and a 9 rate of fire on the dank depths. Okay, that's a tears upgrade. I'm not risking it. I'll risk it on the shop any day of the week because we were not going to buy 95% of the stuff that's in there to begin with. I'm not risking it there, though. We can only use 1 key here. I think this is a double. I think this is a double situation. That pains me a great deal. I really like... I hate to invoke the idea that's like, you know, we're due, but we're freaking due. I know that's not how odds and statistics work, but like, we're freaking due, dude. The game owes us one. We can't possibly not get a hit. Lucky. And then, like, use your cerebellum here, okay? You use your cerebrum, but also use your cerebellum. The cerebrum is for higher order functions, you know? Should I use crooked penny here? Cerebellum is uncoupling your brainstem to allow it to actually do the dodges that need to be done for you to succeed. There's some nasty bosses down here, dude. There are some nasty bosses that I don't want any part of. So we're gonna play it a little coy here, because this is a truly very dangerous run. We're gonna walk to what I assume is the shop, because it has to be at this point. We've explored the rest of the whole freaking floor. You're gonna drop battery charges for us, I think, which is amazing. Can we get a little clip of how the spider dodged right through the middle of every single... That bone heart is so clutch. Every single freaking shot we had there. That's very nice. Nightlight, very good, thank you. The pill is a waste. That's okay. Judgment, hello. Nice to see you. See what this card entails for us. It was the Hierophant. Because we have a little bit more protection, we're gonna get slightly spiced here. That I picked up the battery charge for the wrong thing. And you know what? Maybe that saved me. Nope, never mind. There you go. Okay, we got doubled Hierophants. That's a pretty big swing for us. You know what? We could have, if we wanted to split the difference, it really depends on how coy you want to be. We could have used Hierophant, picked up one Spirit Heart, and then tried to double, just to hedge our bets. I'm glad we didn't hedge our bets, because it worked out well for us, but in hindsight, we could have siphoned a little expected value off the top to be in a better position. Because a failure is much worse for us than a success is good. Had to be done. Sorry, I don't have a cough button. Not the corona, I promise. Feeling good. That's just the kind of throat raspiness you get after what is now at this point like a 10-hour day of speaking. And when I stream, when I make videos, I talk a lot. I'm not just hanging out. If you're into that style of content, I don't begrudge you. I honestly wish sometimes I could just kind of not talk as much. But in my brain, I'm like, oh, it's been 3 seconds since you said something. Pretty soon, people are going to realize this guy's not entertaining at all, and they're going to leave. So I feel that pressure. I like it that way, to be honest. I like feeling the push behind me to constantly be talking. I think that's how the best jokes happen for me. Amazing. An orbital. I don't know what I expected given who we were fighting, but okay, we're still going here. Necropolis 2. Give me whatever you got. Retrovision. That's going to be pretty good. Actually, I shouldn't have complained. An orbital is pretty good with Nod Leaf. I think that I'm actually surprisingly stoked by that. I would be more stoked if I picked up, like, a damage upgrade of any variety. The Halo, yes, it did do it for us, but... I'm also just... Oh, that's not devastating, but a little bit of a punch to the gut in terms of morale. I want to tell you as well, until this moment, I had completely forgotten about Sharp Plug. I talked a lot of game about how wow, we're going to use Sharp Plug in such brave and bold ways. Literally, as soon as I moved onwards, I was like, I don't even remember. Had no memory that that item existed for us. But it is what it is. Certainly not a great time to use it now because it's literally impossible, but... if we find an opportunity in the future, anything could happen. I can't believe, and by can't believe, I mean have found myself in this situation many times in the past. This run is statistically impotent at this stage. I've been spoiled, I'll be the first to admit. In fact, I was quite literally the first to admit on every single run that I've talked about it, that we've been spoiled because I recorded the episode like 7 days in advance of anybody seeing it. Quite literally, the first to admit that I've been spoiled on a lot of our recent runs. However, this is like almost the opposite. The items have not been great, by and large. And then on top of that, mostly not getting the doublings that would really benefit us. This is about to change, though. So, maybe not. We might as well see if you're going to double up some useful consumables. We did get Bookworm, and we also, I don't want to brag, I don't want to make anybody feel bad, but we did get a single penny. That might have been a situation where, like, I guess I'm the living embodiment of gambler's fallacy now. But here's my thinking. I actually think there's a fallacy where you live your life according to fallacy. It's called the fallacy. And that's constantly being on guard for not falling prey to a rhetorical trap that doesn't actually have any impact on your happiness in a majority of situations. What I'm doing is falling victim to the gambler's fallacy. Even though the gambler's fallacy is wrong, you know, I'm due, I've got to win the next one. The interesting thing is, even if it's wrong, it could be right on this sample size. You know what I mean? Like, if you're only flipping a coin one more time, or you're only flipping till you win, the gambler's fallacy could work out for you. If you walked away and said, let's not fall victim to the gambler's fallacy, you might have lost. Now, on average, that's obviously not the case. But if you're only doing one run, anything can happen, is what I'm trying to say. You know what? Why not? This is about to get very interesting, I think. Man, oh man, I would like the blood bag quite a lot right now. So Libra opens up a world of possibilities to us. But I think we might just be, like, done with this floor. Oh, no, we still got the shop. Of course, the shop. Our damage did go up. Our rate of fire was unchanged. Our speed went up a little, but everything else was pretty much the same, which really just goes to show you what I've been saying on this run. Just like all of our stats are kind of uniformly not great. We're kind of very well balanced at almost no impact of benefit whatsoever. I'm going to level with you. I think we buy this, walk it out, take whatever it's got. It's trash. I'm upset. Then try to double this stuff. I'm glad we did, at least. I'll tell you that. I am glad we did. This curse is throwing me for a loop as well. Could you just not? Could you just chill out? Like, I don't know what I did to deserve this kind of inhuman treatment. I'm not talking about you're not treating me like a human. I'm talking about, like, you're treating me the way critics treated... That's not called Inhuman. That's called Immortals. I was going to make a joke about that 300 sequel called Immortals and how Tarsum Singh was taken to the cleaners over via the critics. Look, it would have been really good for a certain circle of people who like to watch bad movies, but it is what it is. I am not walking back to play that blood bank for one entire blood bank play. You can't make me. There is an element of me right now that's like, you know what? Just stand still in the middle. Let Mom's foot die to orbitals. Orbital, I guess. But I choose to not. I choose to not. It's a very dangerous world we live in right now. Not in the real world. I mean, I guess maybe. I haven't been watching the news lately. Is anything going on? But, like, this video game environment we're in. Again, I feel like... we're on the precipice of disaster, yet again. This is maybe the toughest decision you could have me make. I think, unfortunately, we have to take it. I hate to say goodbye to Crooked Penny, even though it didn't really provide us with the yield that I was expecting. I think we had to do this. I think it was non-optional. I love how the nail actually gives us an all stats downgrade whenever we use it. It's minor. It's just funny. I just think it's funny that, and I mean, even with the nail, like, I'm not fully convinced that we're okay, to be honest. That dodge was not. Don't do it. Don't do it, dude. Oh my word. Something good? I can see forever's not bad. I'm drowsy, infested. Okay, let's try a different path. Be afraid, please. You know you're in trouble when you're begging for fear shot to save you. That's not a typical situation you want to find yourself in. Oh, a tinted rock. Thank you so much. 2 spirit hearts. Is it my birthday? Man, this is an old-fashioned grinder. I know what you're thinking. The jokes write themselves. I want to tell you what you're thinking of is a new-fashioned grinder. This feels like an Isaac run from like 2012. Where I'm not totally comfortable with the game or with my voice. It was a different time back then. And yet, they say nostalgia is the strongest sense. I feel myself back there. Living in that converted garage, that illegal basement suite. Where when I moved in, the landlords came down and went, hey, the suite was really only meant for 1 person. If you want 2 people living there, we gotta charge you another $300 for utilities. And I went, I don't think I'd take $300 worth of showers a month. By the way, I've been paying my own electric bill since we moved out of there. There's no way I'm paying $300 a month in showers. A shower is like 5 cents anyway. Look, I understand there's a lot of anti-landlord rhetoric out there right now. People are like, you know, there's probably some landlords out there who are, I don't want to say benevolent because you're, you know, still cutting profit out of it, but like, you know, nice. You know, not milking them for everything they got. You got to understand, there's a lot of bad ones out there. I don't want to say they're ruining it for everybody, but they're casting aspersions onto your noble goals. to gussy you up a little bit. Anyway, hold on. Teratoma, this is a boss that is actually, we're fairly well suited for. I am begging you for a deal with the devil that I don't necessarily deserve, but would give many parts of my body, not all, but many parts of my body for. Alright, instead it's a completely useless item called Polydactyl. And we will continue with this run. Oh, smell the mold in the walls. We're back in 2013, baby. Luck up? Hey, you know what? You might be like, he's finally understood they look different than regular luck, or the regular pennies. It's not true. I mean, I know it's true. I know that, like, they do look different. Somebody linked me, like, an image comparison, and I was like, I barely see it, even though I know what I'm supposed to be looking for. The odds of me seeing that in the wild are very low. I'm not saying it's the game's fault. It might be something up with my rods and my cones, you know? Some people are like, I can't tell the difference between red hearts and spirit hearts. And I'm like, what? You gotta go see an optometrist. They're different colors. But the one thing we can all agree on is when an enemy uses creep on the womb, it's impossible to tell what the floor is and what the creep is. I am still kind of staggered by the impotence of this run. You know what? It's got me wistful. It's got me thinking in my head, like, I wonder what that item room was that we yeeted because we tried to double it. I wonder. What do you think? Oh, you son of a gun. What do you think we could have had there? The world may never know, dude. But I'll tell you something. I wasn't too happy with the items on the last floor, but you know what would have made me way less happy? Having the opportunity to double Dactyl and not having the Spirit Hearts. Okay, that was obviously creep and I'm a fool. You son of a gun. No, but I'm kind of torn, like a Natalie Imbruglia song. Hear me out here. Natalie Imbruglia. It's a musical reimagining of the film In Bruges. set to the songs of Natalie Imbruglia. I already know that's Retrovision. How do I know it's Retrovision? Because I've seen it 4,000 times over the run so far. That's how I know it's Retrovision, okay? Because it's appeared to me more than is appropriate. You almost got me. You so-and-so. Alright, Mom's Heart. This is gonna be another relatively spicy fight, honestly. I have an idea, though. Looks like this. It's bad. That's a bad idea. What was I thinking? I thought I would just stand in the middle and then the orbital would do my dirty work for me, while Nod Leaf carried the day. I think his damage is like good enough to keep her locked in. You know what? I would settle at this point for like shielded tears. Just give me shielded tears. Let me think that there's a benevolent force in the universe. It's got my best interests in mind. A deal with the devil. Thank you so much. It's nothing. What else is new? In fact, it's worse than nothing. It's trying to hurt me. Amazing. Okay. The 2 spirit hearts are nice. Don't let that brainwash you, though. We've had a historic run of bad luck on those so far. I'm not just complaining for the sake of complaining. I'm complaining out of self-interest, because if we lose, it reflects badly on me. Just give me small rock or something. Okay, I will take that. I don't know how much of an improvement it is, but it's something. That bomb is just like that's a bulwark. Keep us from being hit. If you ask me right now, like, gun to my head, will we win this run? I would not feel confident in my answer. I know, by the way, that it looks not that bad right now. I hope that I look like a fool. And that you go, you know, we finish the episode in a bit, and you go, what were you complaining about? Everything was totally fine. You were never even in that much danger at all. That would help me sleep easy at night, you know? I don't want to be right. I want to keep the streak going, because, you know, it's nice to say I never lose on quarantine, and winning is fun in general. We'll save one bomb in case we want to go back to that spiced mob trap room. I don't think that I do, but times can change, you know? By the way, you know what the best item has been for us? Broken Watch. At least the best item we had some control over getting. Originally, when I got it, I was like, Broken Watch, why couldn't you be the good one? Now I'm like, dude, some of these rooms, Broken Watch has been worth its weight in gold. Or worth its weight in palladium. I don't know, I keep getting served all these ads that are like, palladium's headed to the moon. And I'm like, well, you should go get it. Don't we need that to make cell phones or something? And then the joke continues. They go, we can't. NASA shut down due to the COVID. And I'm like, oh, right. Moon's haunted or whatever. Okay. So many tinted rocks. I don't even know how much small rock would help us. Oh, my God. We've re-rolled the whole run. I did it without a hesitant bone in my body. The re-roll is not amazing. I can't believe we were not hit there. Very, very clearly not amazing. But still, I think so much better. Although, it's honestly still kind of not great. Although our damage stat is nicer. There's no doubt about that. No piercing, though. I don't know. It's not amazing. But I'm hoping maybe, given time, I can grow to appreciate it. Yo. Death's List. Perks. I'll live with it. This is a cursed run. This is I mentioned this, I don't know how many episodes ago it was. Yo, do we have Epiphora? No, it's spilled milk that gave us the tears up. Okay. I mean, when we get that tears upgrade, really, really smart positioning on that one. When we get that tears upgrade, we actually seem pretty strong, honestly. But I mentioned this a few runs ago. The last run of the day, anecdotally, because I don't know if there's a real reason for it. I know that those of you in the sciences will prognosticate. Well, the last run of the day, you're tired. You know, you're probably not playing with the same kind of mental alertness that you had earlier. I don't know. I felt pretty good going into this one, honestly. I really feel like it's just that I remember. I feel like I have the confirmation bias towards the last run of the day. Really should have picked those up, I'll admit. And also, the real reason is when I have a tough run, I don't want to play any more Isaac that day. I already have a backlog. Yo, speaking of Epiphora, usually we're not in an urgent situation, right? So, but the last run of the day tends to be the spiciest much of the time. So Epiphora is nice, especially when fighting like the very final bosses here. That was not great, but hey, yo, that's amazing. Okay, I would now CNN posit. Why would you even try that? That we will be winning the run today. It was much tighter than expected. Nate Silver is in shambles. His model gave us a 99.9% chance to win. It's the Dewey beats Truman upset of the century. And yet here we are. Still cruising, even after that close call. I'm hoping that because we're reaching the end of a run that's almost certainly gonna be a win, the game will be like, he did it, and then it'll give me like a really, really nice and good item. That has not happened yet, but... And I think a lot of people will be brainwashed by the game, by the way. They'll be like, what do you mean? You got Epiphora. Epiphora is like, come on. It's nothing. I'm thankful for the 6 room, but I will never, ever be like, well, dude, the game saved me with that 6 room. You know why? Because I've lost like 100 runs due to using 6 rooms I didn't need for sport. I don't know the game any thanks for that. If anything, the game owes me thanks for that. I probably, you know, if you look at global rerolls, I bet I'm like 50%. 50% of the total. We do have the ability to come back from the dead. Obviously, not using it is better, because if we don't use it, it means that we didn't die. Which means we won. I know, it's staggering rhetoric abilities coming out of this man right here. We've made it to the boss. But there is a part of me that's like, man, though, I wonder. You think it's Judas's shadow? I could really go for some double damage right now. We got a speed upgrade. So the dream is like really just to stand here and like get Epiphora cranked up to the maximum. That was a terrible dodge. Jumper cables, doing some stuff. I'm respectful and appreciative. Okay, don't let this slip away by being a dummy. You should pivot if Epiphora is causing you to be in a position where you take damage. Because, like, everything is fine. The only way you can make it not fine is by your own hands. Nice teleport, nerd. You're in the same spot, dummy. Oh my god, we did it. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. He don't lose on quarantine. And I'll see you next time. See ya.